Welcome back to Checkmate with Blake, and today I have another opening video masterclass for you guys. We're going to be talking about the Catalan Opening, which I believe is one of the strongest chess openings that you can play for white. The Catalan Opening is very dynamic and very tactical, and most likely in this opening you will crush your opponent in the middle game. However, this opening is also great positionally, so if your opponent can survive into the endgame, you will win the endgame by your great attack that you'll have on the queen side. You'll be able to push these pawns to promotion or use your advantage in piece activity and your attack directed towards the queen side to simply win the game that way. Furthermore, you'll have a great control of the center, so you'll be dominating out of the opening, and you'll have a very strong defensive position as this bishop will be fianchettoed, and you will be castling this way. So you'll have a great defensive position and also great attacking chances. Additionally, your pieces will be so well coordinated that you can switch the attack at any given moment. You will dominate the board. What I mean by that is, let's say that you're attacking on the queen side, but you notice that they have a very weak king side. In the Catalan, your pieces are so well coordinated that you will be able to switch your attack at any given moment. So we'll go ahead and get right into this video. If you find this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow a lot. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome to Checkmate with Blake, and I hope you guys enjoy my content. If you have any questions about this video, if there's something you want covered, or you want to see a different opening, leave that in the comments as well, and I will make videos on that for you guys too. So the Catalan Opening starts with this move d4, they play d5, and we go into a queen's gambit with the move c4. Now, if you're wondering why I'm recommending playing the Catalan instead of the Queen's Gambit, stick to the end of the video and I will show some comparisons and why we would choose this one over the Queen's Gambit. Also, if you play the Réti and you're wondering why I'm recommending this, because if you've watched my Réti videos, you understand that the Queen's Gambit is actually an opening that gets transposed into from the Réti. However, if you prefer this video, you can also transpose into the Catalan from your Réti theory. So in this position, they're going to go ahead and play into the Queen's Gambit. They're playing this move e6 because they think that we're going to just play a normal Queen's Gambit. And that's another advantage of the Catalan, so we're going to throw them off very early from their opening prep. So we play this move knight f3, just pretending like we're playing the Queen's Gambit. They go knight c6 or knight f6, and all of a sudden it looks like I said, that we're just going into main Queen's Gambit theory. And here you throw them off by playing this move g3. And now we are in the Catalan Opening officially. So in this position, you may wonder, especially if you're newer to chess, why would we play this move g3? Because traditionally in the Queen's Gambit, we would play a move like, let's say we just go knight c3, and after they take, we can capture this pawn back. However, players will notice now that we play g3, it doesn't work as well, because if they take here, we're not going to play this move and try to win this pawn back. In fact, we're going to use that pawn as leverage, and we're going to win the game with many tricks and traps. So instead, after they capture this pawn, thinking that now we can't recapture their pawn back, we just ignore it and play the move bishop g2. Now, the first line I'm going to cover is why they're going to play this move b5. And if you're newer to chess or you don't know much about the Catalan, you may wonder, why would they play this move b5? Well, let me just briefly show. If they play a random move like knight c6, not protecting their pawn, not ensuring that this pawn is safe, we're just going to play a move queen a4, and we're going to win this pawn back. Like, let's notice they go the move bishop d7. We win this move. We win queen takes c4, and now notice our queen is active and our pieces are well coordinated, and we're ready to castle and attack on the queen side, and we're not even down a pawn. So this is a great position. So black, if they know what they're doing, they need to cover this pawn. They need to play this move b5, and I think most of the time they will, because like I just said, if they don't, that's no problem. We'll just play queen a4, we'll win the pawn back, and we're in a great position. So most of the time here, they're going to play this move b5. And here you have a few options, but the move that I recommend is immediately striking back with this move a4. And now we're going to start setting some traps for them. Of course, if they take it, that's already a horrible move, and we're up 1.4, because now you play this move knight e5, you're attacking this rook in the corner and attacking this pawn back, and you have an attack on this pawn here. So of course that's not the move they want to play. Of course this line does continue. They play the move c6. You can take this pawn here, and now you have a ton of threats, and you're actually up 1.56. So that shows why they cannot capture this pawn, or you're just completely crushing in the opening, which would be great for you if you decide to play this. So instead, most of the time, black has a few ideas here, but they're probably going to play this move c6 to just solidify their center. What I recommend actually is to take, and after they take back, play this move knight e5 again. Knight e5 is your secret weapon in the Catalan. Remember that. The knight e5, to unleash a hidden threat where your bishop is attacking this rook is one of the secret ideas. Because now what you're doing is you're attacking this rook, but you're also setting even more traps. You're up 0.86 out of the opening. they're going to play this move knight d5 to just blunt this attack, to just stop your bishop from attacking this rook. And here, although the best move is castling, I have a secret move that I recommend, which is actually this move knight c3. It says it's an inaccuracy, but stick with me. Because how does black respond to this move correctly? Go ahead and look at this position and say, what should black play? If your first response is, oh, we can take here because we'll be attacking their queen, let's go down that line. We take back, and now notice they cannot defend this rook in the corner. There's no move they can play. We're up 4.05. We're crushing in this position. So they cannot take it. Also, we're threatening to attack this pawn here. And if we take it, of course, we're going to win this too as well because they won't be defending it anymore. So most of the time, black might say, let's go ahead and further try to protect this pawn. Like, let's play a move such as a6. And that does nothing. That sets another trap because we can take it anyways. Because if they take back, we win the rook in the corner. And we're already winning again in this position. So they can't play the move a6. What other moves could they play? I mean, it might make sense for them to try and push it. However, even here I have an even better line where we sacrifice some crazy material. We take this pawn, we take this knight here. Obviously the queen can't take back because our bishop covers it. And they have to take back, right? Because we'll have a discovered attack on the rook. So they take back here. We play queen a4 check. Obviously, they're going to block here with bishop d7, which is the best move. And here, there's a beautiful move. If you're really interested, stop the video and just try and find this move. But the idea is actually to sacrifice the queen, which is crazy. On move 12, we're sacrificing the queen in this opening. Because if they take it, we can take with check. After they go here, you give this check. Notice they can't block this, which means their only move, if you pay attention, is here, where we win the queen and we are completely crushing. I mean, completely crushing this position. We're up a pawn, and our pieces are all, in their side of the board, and our pieces are pretty good, and we're ready to castle as well. And we're threatening this pawn as well. I mean, as you can tell, we're just completely crushing. 4.24, according to the engine. Let me go back here and see exactly where we were in this video. So knight c3 is my little hidden move that I like to play. And of course, you can go down some of these lines yourself. I mean, it can get kind of tactical with moves like f6, but as you know, if you watch my content, f6 is never really a good move. Although it says it's the best, just know that it really weakens their king side, so you're going to have a great attack. I mean, even if you just brought your bishop back or your knight back here, which of course is not even one of the top moves, you're still going to have a great attack because this king side will be so weak. So there's the lines I want to cover. Let me make sure that there's nothing else that I missed with after they take that pawn. Okay, so let's go down. There is one other thing I wanted to cover. So let's say, let me find it where it's at exactly. I think it's after the same ideas, and we go here. Sometimes they can play this move bishop b4 check, so I want to go ahead and cover that too. After bishop b4 check, I recommend actually just playing this move bishop d2, trading down here. And after knight d5, we'll have similar ideas with this move knight c3. So it's actually very similar here. So I won't cover that specifically, but let's go back a little bit and switch it up here. If we after bishop g2, I already covered what happens if they go knight c6. However, there are some other ideas that they might play. c5 is a very common idea, and what's great about the Catalan is that you don't have to memorize a ton of lines. Like, maybe memorize those first lines, those tactical lines, but here, all you have to know is this move queen a4. Because after they go ahead and attack your bishop, attack your queen, you'll just take back here. If they take again, you'll take with the knight, and you're already having a great attack up 0.7, and your queen is in a great position that cannot be attacked. Lastly, though, I want to cover this line too. We'll go back, way back here. There is a move here. It's actually not showing here, but it's a top line. Is if they give this check bishop b4, you're going to block with the bishop here, and after they capture back this way, you may wonder if you're playing black, well, now can they play this move knight c6 because we don't have this queen a4 idea? But they can't. They actually cannot do that. They can't do it as well because we're just going to play this move queen c3, attacking this pawn again. And if they decide here, well, maybe they can play b5. Now we have another hidden threat with the same idea, knight e5, attacking this. Now, what do you play here if you're playing black? If they decide to tempo your queen, you take with check. So they can't do that. If they decide to capture here, you'll win the rook with an attack also on this knight. And if they do nothing, if they actually go like bishop b7, notice you're still winning because you are still attacking with check. They have to trade back, and you're up a whole piece already. Now, the last bit I want to cover too in this video is what happens if they don't take this pawn? What happens if they don't go down these lines where you're attacking on the queen side with these crazy tactics? Let's say that they just go here. Let's say that they just, let's look at it a little bit here. Let's say, I don't know, Bishop e7. Yeah, it's a book move, so we'll go ahead and cover that line. You're still going to play this move queen g2. Let's just say castles and castles. Now, here, obviously, the top engine move, the engine wants them to take this pawn, which, as you guys know, we're going to just completely storm them, and we're going to win these pieces. So they don't generally want to take it, although the engine is recommending, and of course, the engine can play it, but not a lot of people can. So in this position, we've castled here. It's not clear as to what black should do. Let's just say that they develop their knight to knight c6. Obviously, the top move is actually b3 and bring the bishop out this way. However, I just recommend the move queen c2. And the queen c2 is a flexible move. First of all, you're going to be allowed to put your rook here on this open, well, it will be open at some point, open file to attack the queen. You're getting the queens off of the same file. Also, this queen here is going to be looking at the queen side, but also looking at the king side. So the queen is a great supporting piece. And in this position, queen c2, I think, is an excellent move here. We'll go down some of these lines. There is a move here that they might play knight b4. I recommend queen b3. After a5, it just goes something like this. And we have a very strong attack on the center. Now, I don't want you guys to memorize moves in this position, because this position here is more of a middle game, and I want you guys to just be able to understand the concepts of the middle game. So the concept of the middle game, if you reach this position, is actually going to be to attack this, we could take here first, is to attack this, this central square, attack d5. And you're going to use that by putting your pieces in a way that can attack that square. I mean, here we already have 2 attackers. If we could get our bishop, we would have a third. Also, though, you don't even have to go down that because the Catalan is so flexible. So after queen c2, of course, they can play a lot of moves. Let's just say they play the move a6. You don't have to do much at all. You can actually go here. You could take. You have a lot of ideas, but the important part of it is that you're going to attack on this queen side, but reserve the right to attack on the king side. So I'm not going to cover all of these specifically because there are so many variations and so many lines that we could go down. But what I would recommend is maybe just developing your pieces, getting your rook on an open file, breaking open in the center, and just dominating and controlling the board. If you want a video specifically about, these lines in depth, I can do that too, but I don't want to make this video too long for you guys, so I'm not going to do all the specific lines. I just want to give you guys some of the general principles of if they do not take this pawn, what it is you'll have a bishop that's looking down this way. So it kind of intimidates them because they never really want to take this pawn, because your bishop, like I said, will always become active by looking down this square. Now here, notice rook d1 makes a lot of sense, because then we're threatening to push it. Again, I'm not going to cover all these lines specifically. What's great about the Catalan is you don't have to memorize a ton of lines. Maybe memorize those tactical lines that I covered in the first part if they take the pawn, but here you can just play a great middle game opportunity and a great attacking chess. Also, what I want to say here, we'll go back a little bit. I'll give you guys a little bit of extra concepts. So why are we playing this? As I said in the beginning, I would say why we would play this over the Queen's Gambit. Well, in the Queen's Gambit, notice your bishop is here, or your bishop is here. So let's just say, we'll just make some random moves. Let's say that you get a position somewhat like this. Obviously, in the Queen's Gambit, you have a good attack on the king side. That's an advantage of why we would play the Queen's Gambit. If you want to learn more about the Queen's Gambit, stick to the end of the video. I already have a video posted on the Queen's Gambit, and it's an excellent video. It's an excellent opening, too. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Catalan is better than the Queen's Gambit or vice versa. But why you would play this opening is if you like my Réti videos, having this bishop on this diagonal, as you guys can tell from this video, will allow you to attack this way, but also make you a little safer defensively. So I would say that this opening is a little safer than the Queen's Gambit, but still has those ultra positional and tactical ideas too that the Queen's Gambit does have. So I think this opening might be a little more fun to play than the Queen's Gambit. So it just kind of depends. Would you prefer your bishop to be active and attacking this way, or would you prefer it to be somewhat defensive but also looking down towards the queen's pawn? If you're an endgame player, maybe the Catalan would be better for you to support the attack on this queen side. And the last thing I'll cover really briefly is if you're a Réti opening player, a Réti Gambit video, and if you haven't seen that video, go check that out. That is my favorite opening in chess, is the Réti opening, where you start with this move knight f3. But if you play the Réti opening, someone in the comments said, well, what happens if they play knight f6? This is what kind of inspired this video, because after knight f6, you do play this move d4, they go here, you play c4, and now after they go into this Queen's Gambit line, now notice what we're in. This position is the Catalan that I talked about in this whole video. So you can use the Réti opening to transpose into this opening. Now, if this interests you, if the Réti's flexibility interests you, notice how the Réti we can play the Catalan or the Queen's Gambit. So if that interests you, I'll also attach a video of that to the end of this video as well. And if you guys want any more specific concepts, please let me know. I didn't go too in-depth with this video. It looks like it's already almost 15 minutes long. But if you guys found this video helpful, Please let me know. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. It really does help the channel grow, and I really do appreciate the community that we've built here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what you guys would like to see in the next video. Thank you guys.